1942. January 1. There was a big flood, and there was one airplane that had to take off on the runway. So that's what he did. He started flying for about 2 days because he was a carrier. He had multiple troops in the car, in the plane. Then there was a big river. And his engine started to go off right when he was going to the river. He tried to turn and he tried to land, but down he went. He swerved up, about to hit it, about to go in the water. Then he couldn't hit his brakes, so he flew right by it. You could see the tires hit the water, but then his whole entire plane shut off, and then he went. He tried to escape, but all of them died. And then a big tree fell, and they all died. Two months later, after that incident, they sent another plane out looking. So he flew everywhere. But they could not sight. They could not see because the clouds was too foggy. It was way too foggy. And this is what the view looked like for them. Bad. It was super foggy. There was big trees, huger than ever. They could not believe it. Blood everywhere from planes crashing. The lake. Then he saw a propeller sticking out. He knew something was off because his scanner saw something in the ground that cuts motors off. So he did not want to fly past it. He wanted to stay where he was. Then he turned around, but then a big wind current blew him. And then he crashed into the ground. Never to be seen. So then, there he laid, trying to get his engines to start. He made his engine start because he was one of the better planes. He got out, but his engines weren't working too good. So then he saw something big, and he wondered, what is that? Oh my goodness, I better go. Then he saw an anti-artillery gun. Then it went, and down his engine popped, and then landed right where the other plane crashed a few days later. Everybody was still alive, but they needed a search team because they could not get out by themselves. Then it started to rain. Chapter 2 ended. Chapter 3, the truck looking. 2 days later, when the second plane crashed, they sent out a truck to go look for it. The truck had big scanners to see wherever anything was. And he saw something in the lake right where they was, where the planes crashed. So he just kept on driving. He just kept on driving, doing his thing. And then he spotted them. On his scanner, he saw a piece of metal So he backed up his truck like that. And then he got the string out. And then, for some reason, his string would not reach. So he had to extend it. He tied it to the plane and tried to pull. He started driving away to pull it out. That's what he did. It was a small plane. Then he put it on the back of his truck. Then he drove away. Then, when he got back to the runway, the plane fell right off. But then the plane started to fly, so then they knew someone was still alive. Then, an army car came by. And then they checked it. 5 survivors were still on the plane, hungry and worn out. That's the end of chapter 3. Chapter 5, the Japanese attack. A couple months after, the big truck came to pick up the airplane. The airplane had to go on a Japanese attack. So that's what he did. He took off. Then they saw the Japanese took the truck. Then he went over there, got shot out by a Japanese airplane. But when he was going down, they didn't know that he was a suicide bomber. So then he blew up the truck. Then the artillery gun blew up too. They won the war. The end.